Hello, and welcome to the Sacred Heart Temple Sanctuary exercise. Before you settle down, take a moment to shake your body, shake out any tension. Notice if there's any pain that needs to be released before you settle down. Find a comfortable position, and we will begin. Today we release perfectionism, worry, the idea of time. We step into the now, into the present. This is a gift to yourself. For this day, you gift yourself the presence of you. You give yourself permission to play, to enjoy, to explore, to discover, and to create. There is nowhere else to be. There is no one else to be but your genuine, authentic self. There is nothing to think about. I invite you to feel and to sense and to allow the thoughts of the thinking mind to flutter away. I invite you now to close your eyes and to enter your heart space. As you do this, you may feel, hear, sense, or see this space. I invite you to witness what comes up, but to not attach yourself to the feelings or emotions. Allow them to flow through you. I invite you to hold out your hands, palms facing up. Your hands are an extension of your heart and the heart chakra. Rub the center of your palms together and feel the friction, heat, and energy being produced. Notice if there is a difference between each hand. Notice if there is any tension that needs to be released. Next, touch your head. Give yourself a little scalp massage. Rub your fingers through your hair and along your scalp from front to back several times. Next, touch your heart. Place one hand on the front, and if you are able to do so, touch the back as well. I now invite you to take 3 deep breaths here. Next, touch your belly button. Remember the nourishment you received in utero. Remember you are connected to the universal life force energies at all times and to the field of pure potential. Raise your hands up to the sky, to the ethers, and connect to this universal life force. Take a deep breath here, taking it all in. Now place your hands on the ground and connect with Mother Earth. Take a deep breath and exhale just as deeply, creating a circuit of symbiosis between the cosmic and the earthly energies. Remember, your body is your vehicle and your vessel for your spirit to enjoy this earthly adventure. You get to choose how to be and thrive in it. Next, feel your heart space. How is it feeling at this now moment? Is it communicating something to you? Intuit what it is telling you. Does your heart space have a color to it? Does it have a sensation? As you tune into your heart, I now invite you to plug your ears and to listen to your heartbeat for a few moments. Listen to your inner rhythm. Listen to the booming, feel the rhythm, feel the beat. Sense the space in between the beats, the primordial beat of your body, of your life, and how the beat and the breath connects you to all of life. Listen to the ebb and flow and to your inner drum. Take a few moments to really sink back and relax, to sink into your natural state and your rhythm. This moment is always available to you, and it is for you. Inside your heart is a hole where your spirit resides. This is the divine spark, your pure essence that travels with you in each life. This is your inner temple, your sacred space. Your soul, which is who you are in this life, can explore these spaces, the chambers of your heart, to discover the temple in which your spirit is housed. We will now go on a journey into your heart, your inner sanctuary. You are standing along a path. In the distance, you see a structure. You begin to walk towards it. As you get closer, you start to see its architecture and its construction, and you see steps leading up. You begin to walk up the stairs, and you see a doorway, an entry. You stop and look around. Everything is familiar. You know this place. You take in the surroundings. You make your way to the doors. You feel a holy and sacred presence and connection to this place. You place your hand on the door. You feel both an electrical pulse and a magnetic pull. You feel a slow, steady beat, a pulsing rhythmic and familiar tune. You are at the threshold of this most sacred temple. You notice the door, the color, the material, the handles. You notice there is no key needed and that the door is able to open. As you push or pull or slide the door, this portal, this entry, you notice how it makes you feel. Notice if you need to duck your head to walk through it, or if the space is large and expansive. Notice your surroundings and take a moment to get used to this space. You walk towards the center, and in the middle is an altar. You realize you are in the temple of yourself. There is a soft glow, and it is dark, but you can see what you need to see. Notice what is on the altar. This is your devotional altar to yourself, to honor you and your creativity, your pleasure, your play, and your enjoyment. This is where you dedicate and honor yourself. Notice the items and the offerings there. You reach into your pocket and pull out an object, and you place it on your altar. You dedicate this object to your inner child. You smile at this object that brings you so much joy and contentment. You hear gurgling of water, and you notice a fountain to the left of your altar. You take some water, and you drink the clear, cold mountain spring water. You feel how good it feels to pass over your tongue and how refreshing it is. You fill a bowl, and you take it and place it on your altar. You offer yourself a blessing and remind and connect yourself to the living water inside of you, the water that satisfies and quenches your thirst and allows you to remember how words and vibrations negatively or positively affect your inner water. Next from the water comes a word of encouragement, an intention or a mantra for you. It reminds you of your purpose for being here on earth. See or hear or feel the word. Remember the word. You notice a large basket of fruit to the right of the altar. There are all sorts of fruits to choose from. You take your favorite or your most curious, and you peel or cut the fruit. You take a bite, and you relish and delight in the flavor. You allow the flavor to dance upon your tongue, and allow the juices to drip down your chin. You enjoy the sweetness, the texture, and also the color. After enjoying your fruit, you take an uneaten fruit and add it to your altar. Notice how your altar feels. Notice the colors, shapes, and textures. Notice the fruit. This is a reminder of your connection to earth and to your body. This fruit is your connection to nourishment and nurturing, to the sweetness of life and living in the moment. It is also your connection to pleasure and enjoyment, and to the deep knowing that the earth provides you with all you will ever need and more. There is always an abundance and a variety of choices available to you to provide you sustenance, nutrients, wealth, health, and inspiration to the infinite source of pure potential. that is always reflected back to you through the fractals of nature, which unlocks your imagination. The earth supplies you with all you need to create. Inspiration is all around. The stream of imagination and innovation is always accessible. You kneel at your altar, you sit there and you revere in the peacefulness and the beauty. There is a sense of bliss. You take a deep breath, you see a frame, and you take a closer look. You notice it is a photo of yourself as a small child. You take time to hold, enjoy looking at this photo, at this child, at this memory. You, this child, is a precious gift to this earth, a miracle. Remember a time when you used to play, imagine, create, make believe, dress up, get messy, play in the mud, climb a tree, tumbling, seeing the world from upside down, swinging on a swing, twirling, daydreaming, getting lost in the moment, time flying, pretending to fly, drawing, painting, singing, dancing, talking to yourself or to your imaginary friend. Remember those sensations of exploring, connecting, enjoying everything in that moment, that zone where time and space didn't seem to exist. You were in the creative space of play. You place the photo back on the altar and you bow to the photo and you smile. You see a small box of matches. You take a match and you strike it. The match ignites a beautiful yellow flame. You enjoy the sound and the spark and the smell of the match, and you take in the glow and the flicker of the flame. You enjoy the magic and the rush of holding fire in between your fingers. You see a candle in the middle of your altar and you light the candle. You blow out the match and you enjoy the smell of the smoke as it swirls around you. You notice how the divine spark illuminates the entire altar. You bow your head in reverence at the beauty of the lights, the colors and the shapes reflected back to you. You now begin to stand up and you start to look around. This is the entire temple of your heart. You notice the walls, the small details, and the richness all around you. You can't see everything and not all is revealed to you. What sounds do you hear? What colors do you see? What textures or materials do you feel? You connect to the floor and to the foundation of yourself. You look up to the ceiling and you stretch up and out to feel expanded. Notice how you feel in this space. Notice the corners or the places that offer entry into another part of yourself. Now take it all in and turn around to get a 360-degree picture of this space. You proceed back to the altar. You take a moment to remember your word that was gifted to you. You remember your intention. You see there is a piece of paper and a paintbrush and paints. You choose a color and you paint the word on the paper. You place the piece of paper on your altar. You thank yourself for the experience to explore the inner cavern of your heart space. You remind yourself that this sanctuary is where you can be yourself and that you are safe to be who you really are. You take a deep breath and a final bow to honor yourself. You turn to face the doorway, that portal, and proceed to exit. Before crossing the threshold, you turn once more to observe your temple core. And as you turn to leave, you place your hands on the floor, pressing them to the ground as veneration and connection, as a prayer and a blessing to yourself. You then stand tall and place your hands on either side of the entry door frame and on the door. You remind yourself you don't need a key or permission to enter this space, that you are the gatekeeper and the guardian. This is your sacred space dedicated to you, and it is always available for you to enter and enjoy, to retreat to expand in, to replenish, to honor, and devote time to yourself, to celebrate, to dance, to create your own unique experiences, and to dream. This is your space to play and experience pleasure and rejuvenation, to explore your desires, and to reconnect with your purpose. This space is always there when you need to recalibrate back to yourself. You know the coordinates, and know the way even when the path gets overgrown. This is your sanctuary. Remember, when life gets messy, you can always step into your heart space and give yourself permission to play, to be in awe and wonder, and to imagine all the beautiful states of being available to you in a moment's notice. You now step through the portal and back out into the external world. You come back into this room, and you can open your eyes when you feel you're ready. Step into your creative container and let out a sigh of enjoyment, of delight or pleasure and relief. You can now take 3 deep breaths here, and on the last breath, let out a deep sigh. When you are ready, I invite you to wiggle your body and stretch. Remember and take a moment to remember your word that you received and write it down. Also, write down the fruit that you received, the color, the flavor, the texture, how it made you feel. If you have an intention, now is the time to write down your intention before we proceed to create an artistic rendition of your Sacred Heart Temple Sanctuary. Hi everyone, we're now going to create our Sacred Heart Temple Sanctuary. It is a mouthful, but I'll show you what you can do. I have a few examples here. So what you will need is a small box or cardboard or construction paper to construct your heart temple. So I'll have a couple of examples. So this is the very first heart temple that I created. It is a box, and I created some doors, and inside resides my heart space. And so what you will need, the components that you require, is some kind of container, your heart represented in some way. It doesn't have to be a heart. It could be a flower. It could be something that lights you up. It could be a crystal. It could be whatever it is that represents your soul and spirit in this embodiment. And doors is what else is needed. And then I created a temple. And later on I added a few things. So if you have stickers, if you want to use paints or markers, whatever you have at hand, it doesn't have to be complicated. And the goal is not perfection. It is the process of creating something where you can dedicate to yourself. And when you see it on your altar, that you are reminded of the beauty that is you. So I adorned it with some beads, colorful beads, and a flower and a butterfly. And I did a press painting for the interior. So this is one version, and you get to be as creative as you want. All the heart temples are all so unique and different when I do this class, and it's so lovely to see. So this is another version. This is another way to do it. This is collage, and so you can play and cut out images and words that make you feel good and that represent who you are. And again, there's the doors, and then what is represented as your heart space. And then there is another one that is a card as well. So if you don't have a box handy, then you can use construction paper and then just fill it with all the beautiful things that make your heart sing and that represent who you are. So enjoy, have fun playing, and I would love to see your work. So you can email me at CristinaBorgogelli@gmail.com and send me photos of your completed works. So I hope you have enjoyed this session. I host Heart Circle is what I call it, and it's a therapeutic art sessions in which we explore different aspects of the heart space And the Sacred Heart Temple Sanctuary one is one of my favorites as a foundation and an entry point to discover our other aspects and chambers of our heart. So I hope you enjoyed it, and blessings to you on your earthly and art and creative adventures.